USN's three-step body makeover to help you lose weight with USN Diet Fuel, Fedricut XT and CLA. USN, it's all about results.
Sports veteran and professional cyclist Chris Brunt has competed in more than 30 mountain biking marathons over the last couple of years and won almost all. But the true test of his determination came in the form of a serious neck injury. Visiting him in Pretoria, Ewan found a sportsman with an unstoppable spirit.
So Chris, take me through the accident. What exactly happened?
It was the 20th of July, it was the Friday. I was practicing for SA Cross Country Champs the day before on the Saturday. It was a steep downhill with a drop-off and I basically just got it wrong. Came over, front wheel stopped and I went straight over the bars onto my head and rolled over and broke my neck.
So what's the extent of the injury?
It's a fairly serious injury. It's what they call a C2 or a hangman's break. C2 is the vertebra at the top of your spine and it's got a point on it that your skull pivots on, and when they break that, it normally stops your respiratory system and you die. So I was very, very lucky.
Sure, that's incredible. But here you are back on the bike, still with a neck brace though. But I mean, how's the process of recovery been up until this point?
The process has been good. I spent 3 weeks, thank goodness for the Olympics. I watched the Olympics extensively. And after about 3 weeks, I think your body always tells you when you're ready to start something. And I felt I just had the need to get back on the bike. And
it's only been a couple of weeks. So what does your wife say about this whole thing that you're back on the bike?
No, I mean, they all think I'm crazy. You've got to have an aim. You've got to have an aim to go back and do something. I mean, some of the doctors said, maybe I'll never race. People asked me, will you ever race again? Will you ever get back on the bike? And it was undoubtedly, I'm going to race. I want to race by mid-October.
Now, I know for a fact, like you say, mental focus plays a huge role when it comes to recovery, but so does diet as well when it comes to physical recovery. And I know that you are a man that really takes care of your diet, but what about supplementation? Did it really play a role for you during your recovery process?
Yeah, for sure. I use Epic Pro extensively, at both pre, during and post-ride, and I use whey protein. You know, obviously your body's got to be fueled because it was playing a thin line between, and it was always playing on my mind, not doing too much on the bike because it would be detrimental to the healing of my neck. So I was just trying to balance the two. But obviously I was making sure that I was supplemented enough. And the things like the protein, the whey protein, and the Pepto Pro that Epic Pro's got in it, I was satisfied that it was giving me enough energy back into my system to hopefully repair the bones properly.
Recently, Chris felt an energy slump during races and thought it was what cyclists call bonking. A simple test, however, revealed the true cause. Fellow cyclists, listen carefully. You might recognize the symptoms.
Being glucose intolerant, what exactly does that mean? And is it anything similar to insulin intolerance?
I think it's, from what I understand, very much one and the same thing. What happened with me, it was about this time last year, I was really battling with my energy in long races, and I had a glucose intolerance test. And apparently what happens is those high GI sugars spike your insulin, and it actually takes the energy away from the muscles where they should be putting it. So in effect, it is one and the same thing. I've luckily, through Epic Pro and USN, been able to get on top of the problem now by taking complex carbohydrates instead of the high glycemic carbohydrates that are in most other energy drinks.
But since finding out, I mean, a lot of changes had to take place in your lifestyle, your training, and also, I mean, I'm sure the performance on your bike was affected.
Yeah, the performance was affected drastically before that because I was just bonking. I was just really running out of energy. As far as diet goes, I've got to be very, very careful and try and avoid high glycemic foods, anything that's high on the glycemic scale, because it spikes my insulin. So it was difficult. You know, very, very few manufacturers make a low GI type of energy drink, and it's a problem that is happening to more and more cyclists. You know, these athletes are training up to 12, some of them 20 hours a week, and going through huge amounts of these high energy drinks, and a lot of people are turning insulin resistant and basically turning into type 2 diabetes.
And we're also so happy that you are back on the bike after your very serious fall. What can we expect from you in the future going forward?
Well, the next big event for myself is the Epic this year. They've started a Grandmaster class, which is 50-year-olds. They've invited myself and my partner Paul to ride, so we'll be competing in the Grandmaster category in the Epic. That's one of my driving forces, which I said earlier. Hopefully I'll be able to race as early as mid-October, but I'll play it by ear. I don't want to take any chances with this neck. But really, it's through to the Epic next year in March, and that's my next goal.
We wish you all of the best with your recovery, Chris. Friends, share your fitness journey on the USN SA's Facebook page. There's a summer of great sporting events awaiting. So hop into the saddle and get out there.
Follow USN's 3-step body makeover to help you lose weight with USN Diet Fuel, Fedricat XT and CLA. USN, it's all about results.